Esteban, great to see you. Over the last year or so, we've been getting to know the drivers up and down the grid with some unusual quick-fire questions. Wondered if we could kick it off with you describing yourself in 3 words, please.
Okay, well, great to see you as well. Thank you for the nice words. 3 words to describe myself. Motivated, hard worker. I don't know, maybe I'll let the people comment on the last one.
Drop it in the comments.
Exactly.
No, I like it. What made you fall in love with Formula One? Is there a moment from watching on TV as a kid, or?
Yeah, I think Michael Schumacher was the driver that made me fall in love with Formula One. I remember watching a Monaco Grand Prix where, he was leading, and then suddenly, after the tunnel, you couldn't see back then, the quality in the tunnel was not so great. And I saw him, with not all the wheels attached to the cars, and he lost that race. And yeah, for some reason that broke my heart at the time. I didn't know him so well. I heard people talking about him, but yeah, I mean those moments, shock you as a kid, and that still, is in there somewhere at the time. So yeah, it's quite a moment that strikes me.
Yeah, one of those that just sticks in your mind.
For sure.
Can you remember the first time you drove something? Could be a go-kart, could be a push cart, anything at all, or a shopping trolley around the supermarket. What was the first thing you ever drove?
Yeah, so the first time I remember I had a little Ferrari with pedals,
Nice.
And unfortunately, we were living in a very small flat with my parents, and my parents, they put it outside the door for an evening, and I remember the following morning I went to take the car, and the car wasn't there. I got it stolen.
Oh.
So yeah, heartbroken moment, really. But yeah, that was the first thing I drove when I was young.
Oh, it's sad to hear that, but
It's very sad.
It's worked out okay in the long run.
Yes.
There's a lot of pressure on this next question, Esteban.
Okay.
How many times did it take you to pass your driving test?
So it took me 1 month in total. So between, in France you have to do 20 hours minimum. But I've passed everything first go. And I was very proud because the teacher basically told me, oh yeah, you were the best I've had in a while. So I was like, yeah, pretty good then.
Yeah.
I was happy. It was quite a stressful time because there was some journalists that were outside, and basically the professor, he didn't know. I think it was a he. Yeah, he didn't know why they were here for. Basically, because I was already testing Formula One before, I had my driving license, and I really didn't want him to know, because if he had then, like a bad thought, he would not have given it to me. But he said I was the best in a while, so I was happy.
It's already like going to the TV pen after your driving test.
Yeah.
Nice.
Basically that.
Yeah. Who's your best friend inside the F1 paddock? A lot of people here up and down the pit lane, but is there one that sticks out for you?
It has to be Lance and Mick. Obviously, we really got along super well. Also outside the track, yeah, they are my two best friends around the F1 paddock for sure.
Which 3 F1 personalities, past or present, would you invite to a dinner party, and why? Again, a lot to choose from here, but who would you choose?
Probably Ayao and Oli. Yeah, I think it would be a fun one.
Keep it in the family.
For sure, yeah. If we get something to celebrate, that's cool.
I know you're a big fan of Marvel, comics, all that kind of thing. What is your biggest interest or hobby outside of Formula One? Would it be that, watching films and?
Yeah, I mean that's a big passion of mine. I'm really into the comics. The Marvel comics in particular. So we have some exciting movies coming out next year, which are gonna be awesome. New Spider-Man, new Avengers. It's gonna be really cool. Can't wait for that. And yeah, I got something special coming soon as well, which will be very nice, and I hope that all the fans will love it. It's gonna come before the end of the year, so stay in touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of that, I like doing sports with the people I love. Mountain biking, going to the gym together. But yeah, I'm a big petrol head as well. Going to work with my dad, on cars, on racing buggies, on go-karts. I like to put my hands into it, RC cars as well. Yeah, it's something that I do probably a lot more than a lot of drivers. Probably Fernando is very similar in that case. But yeah, I like these things for sure.
No, sounds great. What's your favorite film of all time?
I think it contradicts what I said before because I'm a big fan of Marvel, but my favorite movie is The Dark Knight Rises. So it is actually Batman, kind of. You know, it's more The Dark Knight than Batman. But that has to be my favorite, and it's a DC Comics. I'm not the biggest fan of DC Comics in general, otherwise, but that one, yeah, with Christian Bale, it's something insane, and that has to be my favorite one. Then it's Iron Man and Spider-Man.
A lot of travel in Formula One, of course, but what's the best holiday you've ever been on? Could be switching off completely, could be an adventure holiday. Is there one?
I think the last holidays that we had with my family were amazing. You know, going to the sea. I think it doesn't really matter where you are going in the end. It's who you spend it with. Yeah, going with my love and my family, I think that's the best thing. So yeah, there's nothing more that matters.
And if we were to flip that, what's the craziest travel experience you've ever had?
Probably going to like Lapland or something.
Okay.
That's insane. You know, you land, everything is frozen, and you get to drive to the hotel or to a little house. And yeah, all the cars are have like spiked tires, otherwise you don't move forward. It's minus 40. Yeah, that's probably the wildest experience, you know. Seeing people with, I don't know how you call it in English, with the dogs, and then they carry like Santa. You know?
Yeah.
That's quite insane, yeah.
That's something a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that would be probably my craziest one, yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever received in your life or career so far?
It's a good question. I think has to be from my dad. When I was young, we were sacrificing a lot. You know, I didn't have a normal kid's life, you know, when I was 10 or 12. And he told me, you know, the most important time of your life is now, is what's going to define your future. So if we succeed, you know, you will not have any regrets. And that was probably the best piece of advice, because you just put everything negative on the side and you just go for it. And yes, I didn't have a normal childhood, but here I am, you know, living the dream and living the best life possible.
It's amazing when you put it like that, isn't it? And you just take a moment to reflect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it is.
Which other job do you wish you could try for a day? A superhero, maybe, but
that would be nice. If I could jump in an Iron Man suit and take off. I would like to spend a bit more time like in tuning cars, but like from the electronics point of view, you know, like I got a lot of people I know very well, you know, who spend a lot of time on dynos and trying to get more power out of the engines. And, you know, I'm very good at understanding the outside hardware of things, but not the software inside, you know. It's quite complicated. And once you start to put numbers and, you know, that's the bit where I would like to learn a bit more. So doing some internship in some dyno testing, that would be nice. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I don't know if it's very similar, it's still related to cars, but, you know, swapping seat with some drift championship guys, that would be nice for a day. Not for too long, but for a day, that would be nice to try. I did the WRC as well already, which has been insane. But yeah, there's so many things to try, really. That's, you know, I was talking with my girlfriend not too long ago, and obviously I still have a long time, you know, to be racing, but, you know, I've done that all my life, so I've never really thought about doing something else, because that's all I wanted to do. But one day it will come, you know, and I will have to think about that, so let's see.
Last couple now, but what's your proudest moment in F1 so far? A few spring to mind for me already, but what's top of the list?
I think, well, it has to be my win in Budapest. That's the most crazy one. Monaco 2023 was also very special because it was unexpected, but it was, you know, on merit. It was very well deserved. I'm not going to say Brazil last year was not on merit, because it was, but it's more conditions that, you know, levels up the cars, and I take less credit for the Brazil drive than the one in Monaco for some reason, you know, even though it was much harder, this one in Brazil, than Monaco, but, you you know, Monaco were not supposed to be on the podium, and also not Brazil, yeah. But you know, Monaco, it rewards you on the dry, and it is special. You know, quali lap, and nailing all the laps in the race. Both are special, but I will take definitely Monaco.
Yeah, very nice. I think I'll remember Brazil last year for the rest of my life. I mean, what a race and weekend that was.
It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy. It was, yeah, especially in the tough time like I had last, you know, end of year. You know, it reminds me that, it gives you the confidence that, you know, I'm here and I can do it, and that's why I'm here. You know, in the end of the day, I'm here because I've proved that, you know, I can do it, and yeah, it definitely felt nice.
And final question, Esteban, where would you like to be in 5 years' time?
My world champion, that would be nice. Yeah, it's all that matters.
Very nice. Works well.
Thank you.
Great to get to know you, Esteban. Thank you.
Thank you very much.